Hi, I am Rebecca from ChemKnits, and today I am going to react to the Unnaturally Natural Way to Dye Your Clothes viral video by Blossom. I think that this is a video full of, well, the video is clickbait. I'm just gonna put that out there, the video is clickbait. I don't normally do reaction videos, but this video has been shared with me multiple times, and I thought it was worth sharing my thoughts because Blossom makes some pretty extreme claims in this video that I think could result in some people feeling really disappointed. Now, who am I to be commenting on this? I am ChemKnits. I dye a lot of yarn and film my experience with it. In addition to being a fiber artist, I do have a PhD in biochemistry and molecular pharmacology. That being said, I am still a novice when it comes to dyeing with natural dyes. But I have tried a lot, and even some that were included in this video. And so I have a bit to share and I have many thoughts. But if you want to learn more about any of the projects that I have done that relate to this video, I will include a lot of links in the video description, and I will be popping up some photos and other clips on here along the way to back up my claims. So clearly this is not the first time I've seen the video, but I am armed with my laptop. Let's get started. Okay, bunch of pennies, some water, and a beautiful blue color. This will happen. But let's pour it on a shirt, don't know the fabric type, and bam, we get a bright blue shirt. Okay, someone shared with me a Kyle William blog post that talks about copper penny dyeing, and they dyed wool yarn with copper pennies. And in the end, they ended up getting some color, but it's more of sort of a mossy, almost minty green gray color, not the bright blue that is shown in the video. But Rebecca, the shirt is, well, what fiber content is that shirt? They are showing us this cute shirt that they dyed in this bright blue color, but there's no label. We don't know if it's cotton, polyester, and cotton is harder to dye than wool. So in all honesty, I think that they got, and in all the examples, I think they got a commercially dyed shirt and inserted that into the video. There's really not a lot else that I think could have been happening here. Grapes and pantyhose, and a rolled up shirt in a vase. So I think that it's really cool. All right, I'm gonna pause the video. I think it's really cool to use pantyhose as, especially old pantyhose, as a way to filter out a natural dye. I have definitely run into issues myself where I wish I had something to strain out the vegetable matter, and using pantyhose, that's a great way to reuse something that otherwise might be damaged. I like that tip. But if you notice, and if we go back a tiny bit, the shirt that they put in this jar is folded up. And so while you might get that reddish pigment from the grapes, you are not going to get this solid color on the shirt. You will see something that looks a little more shibori-esque, where you might have lines of darker color, patches of paler color. I've done similar with commercial dyes on tie-dye, and you get really cool results, just not a solid color like what they show here. And as for the pink, if you've ever stained anything with wine or with grape juice, it does turn brownish over time. I don't know if you'll necessarily be able to maintain a pink like this. I think that the colors will brown. I've dyed yarn with wine and got a really warm, pretty brown color, but not a red or pink. Let's carry on. Okay, a t-shirt with turmeric and hot water, some baking soda. Okay. Turmeric is actually like a well-known natural dye. I haven't personally checked to see how pH sensitive it is. There are a lot of natural colors out there that will change. One will be coming up in this video, but that will change depending if they're in basic or acidic conditions. And so turmeric Turmeric should work and should give you some really vibrant colors. I don't know about this red, but certainly turmeric will give you a really great yellow on all kinds of things. And a little bit goes a long way, lots of washing. But yeah, that one could work. Rosemary, put in water, again with a folded shirt. Notice the folded shirt. Wait, steeping yellow leaves extract yellow nutrients. Nutrients or compounds, colored compounds? Whatever. The rosemary steeping here looks very much sort of like tea, like you would steep tea. A similar like yellowy color. But did you note the color of that water? How it was sort of a golden color, but a tea, and then bam, we have this really bright yellow t-shirt. You might be able to get a yellowish tan from it. That could be possible, but I don't believe that this yellow came from the rosemary. Especially not that little amount of rosemary, given the full size of the t-shirt. Yeah, I strongly think that they are seeing the color of water and picking a white shirt and a colored shirt from something else. Who knows, they could be dyeing the colored shirts with commercial dye, but I have a feeling that they're just like cutting corners and went shopping and found commercially available colors. And cut the tags out of all of them. Because if you notice, I am not seeing a single tag on a piece of clothing yet. All right. Oh, a pretty scarf and cabbage, red cabbage. All right, yep, so from red cabbage, you get purple. That is definitely true. If you add vinegar, it turns pink. And if you add baking soda, it turns green. That is all true. Red cabbage is awesome. It is pH sensitive and it is so much fun to play with. When I first did this, I just had fun pouring a little bit of acid, a little bit of base, and making the colors shift. It was beautiful. And so, since we're talking about this, I've done red cabbage, and I've played with it on wool, superwash wool, acrylic, polyester, cotton, and looked to see how it went with all these different fiber types. And depending on the pH, I was able to achieve 3 different colors on our wool. But it did not stay as vibrant as what the color you see is. And in fact, in the cotton, it pretty much came out completely. Red cabbage is known as a fugitive dye, which means that it's not going to last very long. It's not necessarily light sensitive or wash safe, but it is really fun to play with. So let's see what colors they say they got. Ooh, look at that turquoise, and that pink, and that purple. Those 3 colors they just showed are representative of the colors that you can see in your liquid. These wonderful pH sensitive colors, and I shared pictures on Instagram and I was like, wow, look at this color we're creating of my 3 pots all lined up. And the results are still amazing. And I did all this without mordant, using all kitchen safe stuff in my home. But yeah, the colors were definitely not the same as what you saw in the liquid on the final garments. Now it's possible if you were to add a mordant, like an alum mordant, which the video isn't mentioning any mordants, it's just take your clothes and hot water and these vegetables and bam, you're golden. So keep that in mind. It's possible if you take a mordant, which I haven't tried yet, that you could get more of the color to stick. But again, a lot of natural dyeing books don't talk about red cabbage because it's not the most stable. And so it might not last that long. Maybe I should check in on the yarn that I dyed with it. All right, let's go on. I'm liking the soda bottle and the folded napkin. This is a really cool way to sort of steep something. But again, note that that napkin is folded. You'll get some kind of beautiful shibori type pattern or tie-dye type pattern from having something scrunched up like that because there's resist. The dye can't all access the fiber in the same amount of place. Now, Logwood is an amazing natural dye and can create stunning, stunning purples. This napkin that they show is a solid color. It is not the same napkin that they showed earlier in this video. It's just not. And it's a problem. It's a problem because what they're showing is misleading. Now, I recently shared a video where I played with Logwood for the very first time, and I'm gonna go run and get that yarn. Here are a lot of beautiful natural colors that you can get with various plants and extracts. Make sure you're subscribed to the ChemKnits Tutorials YouTube channel so you never miss a new dyeing experiment. I have a natural dyeing playlist filled with videos that I'm mentioning through this reaction, but one of them that's come up now is Logwood. And so I did this recently where I dyed some sock yarn that is 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon with Logwood extract. This came as a paste that I used. Without any mordant, I got this beautiful sort of chocolatey brown. With an alum mordant, I got this really, really beautiful deep eggplant purple. And you can shift the color gray by adding in either some rusty nails or maybe even an iron mordant into your dye bath. And so it's a beautiful, beautiful color. I don't know if you start with Logwood chips, if you would get the purple that they showed in the video, or if maybe like you do need that mordant to do it, since I did use an extract versus dealing with the wood chips themselves. But it's something to keep in mind. Take everything in this video with a huge handful of salt. So I think that purple color is achievable, but probably not, you know, the way it's shown. Eucalyptus, I'm not sure. You might be able to get this orange pigment. I know that, well, probably not that orange though. It's possible. There are orange pigments from plants and leaves. It's very, very possible. It's worth looking and seeing what you have access to. I don't have easy access to eucalyptus, so it's not something I could test. I'd have to do more research. So that's one I don't know. But again, you can, even if you get this beautiful orange water, this shirt is so saturated and they don't show any mordant or anything. And also, what is this shirt made out of? This is sort of the thing. Some of these shirts, there's no, like the odds that these are 100% natural fiber are so slim. And things like polyester and acrylic are really, really hard to dye. So anyway, let's just keep going. Blackberries. I have not tried berries yet. I would like to, but I've heard that they fade, and so I just haven't. So they crush to get this purple color. But notice, they said it creates a purple dye versus a purple liquid. Okay. And they put it in a spray bottle, and they spray the shirt, and then end up with that perfect, let me back up, that perfect ombre. And now could you spray a shirt to get a really good ombre like that? Yeah, probably. Of course, like what they showed, the dye application didn't look super even. And so this one might work because the shirt they're showing on the table actually looks like it's on the table and it's the same one that they were spraying. So it looks like it's the same garment. Now, I don't believe that there would be any longevity with this color. I think that it might deepen. So I've done some fruit-based teas that start off like a really beautiful pink, and they still end up being sort of like a pinkish brown, but it's definitely more of a brown, and in this tea sort of staining. Yeah, I'm not sure if you could keep this purple, but of all of them, this one feels more like it was actually dyed by them in some capacity. Again, no tags, so we don't know the fiber content. So this one is possible. Not from one Blackberry, though. You would need more, but unlikely. Unlikely, but yeah, this one isn't the worst. The worst one is coming up still, though. There have been some bad ones. Okay, water with a crop top and some spinach. The wilted spinach releases a turquoise dye. That little sports bra crop top is not a natural fiber. It's not. I have never noticed turquoise color coming out of wilted spinach. I suppose it's possible, but in general, with natural dyes, blues are among the more rare colors that you find. For a blue, a lot of people will go to indigo, which is amazing and fun to play with. You can find all kinds of kits with synthetic or natural indigo out there. But yeah, this turquoise color, I'm not buying it. I think that if we could get like that turquoise from spinach, I would have read about it in like all these natural dyeing handbooks, and I wouldn't be thinking for years, ooh, I want to try Logwood, and ooh, I want to try indigo, you know? And so, yeah, I don't buy that for a second. The next one is one that I think that 99% of you will be able to call BS on. Some faded black jeans. Let's scrunch them in a little bowl and pour on some coffee. 30 minutes later, wash them, and bam, black jeans. Now, I don't drink coffee, but I bet that a lot of you have, or even if you don't drink coffee, that you have spilled coffee on something and gotten a coffee stain. And coffee does stain, no question. But is it gonna turn gray jeans black? I don't think you'd even see one pot of coffee. If you soaked black jeans in it for 20 minutes, I don't think you would see a difference. There is zero chance that it turned those jeans black. I've dyed yarn with coffee and gotten some really pretty like neutral sand colors. And you know, the color stays in and it's fun. I don't know if I would get a deeper color if I used mordant or not, but no, it's not going to turn your jeans black. It's not. Get rid. That might. Yeah, the before after, that's bogus. Bogus. Oh no, we put a red shirt in our laundry. Let's put the shirt in some water with lemons. I have no idea if this works. I don't know if it has to do with the lemons or if just citric acid would work or vinegar. I'm not sure. I guess I've been lucky in that I haven't had something like this happen. In general, I find a lot of things don't necessarily bleed as badly, at least not, especially not after the first few washes. But I guess this is a good moment to say, anytime you're going to wash something that's hand dyed, whether it be tie-dye, indie dyed yarn, wash it on its own its first few times, just in case. Just in case. But yeah, if that works, let me know in the comments because I don't know. Avocado scraps. Avocado dyeing is awesome, by the way. So you boil it, you can get a pink color. Yep, totally. You can get a really nice pink color from avocado pits and skins. On cotton and wool, I've not gotten the bright pink personally. But okay, wait, pay attention to this wet shirt that is ringing out right here. And then the shirt that they show there. I think that the avocado dyed shirt that they showed, that likely stayed pink, was about the color of that napkin that they're showing at the top. The shirt that they're showing seems darker than the one that they were ringing out. That's just my opinion. I think that there's a little bit of a swap-a-roo. Now, these hues that they're showing are legitimately within the range that I've seen with avocado pits and skins. I have not personally achieved those colors. I've gotten some pink-ish tones, things close to my skin tone maybe, and some nice tans, both with a la mordant and with no mordant. I've definitely seen more brighter pinks, and I'm not sure if it's because I've used dried pits and skins versus fresh. That definitely could impact it. So this is something that I know I plan to explore more in the future, and again, I'd love tips on this. So this one, even though I don't necessarily believe the final pictures they're showing, this is the one out of all of them that is within the realm of achievability, if that makes sense. And we're just about at the end. All right. and the blossom end screen. Let's give some thoughts. Let's talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. The good for this video is it gets people excited about exploring natural colors. They have some creative ways to apply fabric and dye in a container that I might want to try out, like the soda bottle or using pantyhose as a way to strain whatever your natural color is that you're trying to do. And there are a few things in here that are factual. You can get blue color from copper pennies, pre-1981 pennies, and red cabbage will shift if you add baking soda or vinegar to it, which is a lot of fun to play with. The bad. A lot of the colors that they show are unrealistic. It's as though someone went and saw, ooh, if you boil this in some water, you get this really pretty color. Let's like make a video about that. And like, oh, if we soak some fabric in it, we see this color. Ooh, cool. But oh, we can't really do this ourselves, so let's just go buy shirts in that color. That's sort of what I feel like was happening. And I feel like it's really misleading because if you watch this, you might run to the grocery store and buy some blackberries to try this out, and then you'll probably get disappointed with the results. Because even if you spray a t-shirt with blackberries, it's not necessarily heat set, and so the color might not last. And then you're gonna have people who feel really disappointed, who spent time and money to go and try a technique. When playing with a lot of these things can be fun and cool if you give people some more realistic expectations. The ugly, those black jeans. I don't know. I think that the dyeing faded jeans with coffee is sort of like a, hey guys, we're just trolling you kind of moment, because there is no way that that is a life hack that works. No way at all. You can't over dye gray with a pale brown and get a pure black. It's either a completely different pair of jeans or they went and got some black dye and just dyed it off camera, which is possible. Just about everything in this video was too good to be true, but you should always take some of these fast craft kind of videos with a grain of salt, or a whole handful, but that's just because they don't give you enough information for you to go and play with this and explore it. What is the fiber content of the shirts that they were dyeing? How long did you do it? What else did they add? How much of the vegetable matter did they put in to achieve those results, if they even achieved those results? So that's all something to keep in mind. But let's go and look at some positive. Personally, I'm interested in trying to play around with some copper pennies in the future. Who knows, maybe it will be like a copper mordant, and using some of that blue water would be similar to like adding a rusty nail into some of your dyeing for some iron mordant. I'm not entirely sure. Inorganic chemistry is not my strong suit. And if you want some really exciting blues, try black beans. If you soak these beans in just some water for a couple days, you'll get a beautiful blue pigment. And with some yarn that's treated with an alum mordant, you can create beautiful blues and purples on your yarn. And honestly, that was a ton of fun. And the results from the alum mordant versus no mordant were really dramatic. For colors that can give you some really beautiful results where you don't need any mordants, try yellow onions. You get this beautiful deep yellow and the colors strike fast. So you could play around with some dip dyeing or shibori type techniques on your yarn. I don't remember, I did it all in one pot, so I don't remember how well it did on cotton, but yellow onions are a really easy dye, and I bet you could even ask at the supermarket for them to give you like all the skins that are at the bottom of the bin. I am Rebecca from ChemKnits, and this was my first reaction video. In my Facebook group, ChemKnits Lab, I sort of did a stream of consciousness in one of the threads reacting to this. And then I realized I should just turn this into a video so that way you guys could like see what I'm feeling and hear the inflections in my voice. If you enjoyed my reaction, please subscribe to the ChemKnits Tutorials YouTube channel. Make sure you give this video a like and turn on notifications so you don't miss a new video. I would be willing to try this out more often if you all are interested. And so, yeah, let me know in the comments what you thought. Seriously, there's no ill will to Blossom. I don't know much about them at all as a company. I just know that I think this is the second video where they've shown some like natural dyeing things that I think are just overblown and exaggerated. Just because you can extract a beautiful color doesn't mean that it can function as a dye. It might not bind to the fiber, and even if it does, the compound itself might not be stable. So even if you could initially get that color to stay, with heat and light the color might degrade, and so in days, weeks, months, you might not end up with any color there anymore. This is why there are some plants and natural products that are recommended to use as natural dyes more than others. But that's not to say that you shouldn't try and you can't play around with things that even might not last. Just take maybe a small snip of yarn or a little piece of fabric to do some tests before you commit to dyeing pounds of fiber. This is all a really long-winded way to say that just because you can see a color doesn't mean that you can capture it in yarn. And if you can capture it, doesn't mean that it's going to stick around. I hope that I was able to include some resources. There's more resources in the video description. And yeah, I am Rebecca from ChemKnits, and thank you so much for watching my reactions. I release new videos every Tuesday and Friday morning, and in addition to that have numerous live streams and other bonus content every month. And you really don't want to miss a thing. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Bye!